Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University of Love, the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. We're coming to you live today from the truck. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's always funny when you start to do something and when you start to do something and you are like, I'm not gonna let nothing or anything stop me. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the point where I'm at. The last year or so has been very focused. I always laugh when I'm like, I've broadcast this show from Texas to Pennsylvania and all points in between. And I've woken up at 4 o'clock to record at 4 a.m. and I've done shows at midnight. So it's a very interesting thing when you really get focused and you really want to do something. It's funny how you will make time. You think, I don't have a lot of time, but it's definitely not about making time. It's like, all right, we're going to do, after a while, you'll get to the point where you say, no, we're going to do a video, we're going to do a podcast. I'm doing one. I don't care. Sometimes I tell my wife, I'm going downstairs. She's like, are you going to take a nap? Before I'm supposed to go to this job of mine. And I go, sure. And then I could go downstairs, I record. I try to figure out what I'm going to write about, try to figure out things like that. I'm like, naps, they're okay. But, I need to speed up this process so I can get out of this job so I can start doing what I love to do on a full-time basis. And so, never think this, you're passionate about something. Nothing will stand in your way of you getting the job done. You know what I mean? But, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about this subject, and it's something that I've been thinking about, and it's, once you develop a fan base, you develop a group, a following, and they're going to be people, look, you're always going to have the ones that stick with you, and you appreciate those, and you want those, and you want them to stick, you want those people to stick by you, And the one thing you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to alienate everybody. And how do you alienate everybody? You alienate people by being wishy-washy. You alienate people by being, you say one thing, but you do another, And it got me to thinking, because today is election day. And my cousin sent me a message early, and he said, in Virginia, he thinks the Democrats are going to lose the governorship or whatever, being governor. And I thought, and I just wrote him back. I said, people are tired of Democrats, I myself, I'm not a Democrat. I voted for Democrat in the past, but I myself, since the election of Joe Biden, I have quite grown very uninterested in the Democratic Party because, a lot has changed from what the Democratic Party used to stand for, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, although, I'm independent, I don't want to, it's like from what I remember about them in the 90s to what I see now, it's a big difference. And they have alienated a lot of Midwestern, small town folks. The Democratic Party is more of a elitist, more of a New York City, LA type of vibe. That's the sort of thing you get from the Democrats. And you have alienated a whole the South region, the Midwest region, you have alienated these people, and it's like, that's a big, don't get me wrong, listen, you're going to have people going to come to the show, you're going to have people that's going to listen to your show, watch your show, and they are not going to stick around very long. That's okay. You know, you're not going to get 100% of the people to stick around all the time, but you're going to have a base, and you don't want to just alienate the whole base at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like I said, I will stress this again. People come, people go. Don't get me wrong. They're going to be people. It's just like you watch wrestling, pro wrestling. There are people that are going to stick with wrestling. You know, they're going to watch it through and through. And it's like, great. But a lot of people have been alienated by wrestling because not only do they tell you now, they're like, hey, this is phony, you know, and you know, like when I was 17, 18, I'm like, all right, something's going on, you know. I didn't really understand, you know, but I'm like, you know, but they were like, all right, the matches are, you know, predetermined, but the physicality in these matches, it's very real. People get hurt, people break their necks, you know, so you can respect that. You respected pro wrestling, but then they just alienated a lot of people, and now there's a very small niche audience, and they're not ever going to come back pro wrestling. And it's the same as the Democratic Party, I believe. I don't believe they're going to come back from what they were, you know. And lately I have found myself, and listen, I'm first one to admit it's weird, but I find myself agreeing with a lot with people on the left, on the conservative side have said, you know, about the politics and the Democratic Party and the president, you know. And I'm just like, you know, it's strange, but it's kind of like, hey man, you've alienated, you know, a lot of people, and in your business and in your content, yeah, you can push people. I mean, you should definitely. The one thing you don't want to do is be dull. You don't want to be indifferent. You don't want people to be indifferent about you. But there are going to be people who's going to ride out with you, you know. And you just don't want to alienate the whole lot of them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you don't have to kiss anybody's butt. I'm not saying you have to kiss anybody's butt. Like, don't get me wrong. You don't have to kiss anybody's butt, but you know, like, let's say you talk about a certain topic every week, you know, and it's going good and the ratings are great, you know, and then eventually you're like, no, I'm not going to do that no more. Why would you stop it? If the ratings are going great for this segment, I'm not saying you have to, you know, just do the segment all the time. Don't get me wrong, but why would you cut it out? You know, it's sort of like if you have a number one radio show and people love when you talk about basketball and baseball, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? No more baseball talk. You would just alienated the people that love watching your show because you talk about baseball. Why would you do that? Do not push people away when they are trying to, you know, be a part of your, you know, however you want to call it, flock, gang, group, whatever you want to say. Do not alienate the whole lot of people. Like I said, some people are going to come, some people are going to go, don't get me wrong, but you're going to have a base, and you want the base to stick around. You want these people to grow with you. You want to learn about these people. You want to, you know, I'll give you another example. There's a radio show I used to listen to. The guy, he used to take phone calls from people, and he went national, and now he does a national show. Although he can't pick up the phone all the time for the hardcore people that has been with him since he was a regional show, he still picks up the phone for these people. You know, like it's not every minute, every day, but every day he gives them a little bit of time, and then every now and then somebody will say, man, you know, this show ain't what it used to be. I remember I used to be able to get in real quick. And he's like, you know, we're a national show now. And he's like, don't worry, Paul, I still love you, blah, 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 you know. And it's just like that, you know. He has expanded, but he has not left the people who who got him to the point of where he's at. You know what I mean? I know it's very wordy. I know it's very, sometimes, it can seem like a nonsensical, but I'm just telling you, you're going to gain an audience. I've gained an audience, and the one thing that I'm like, all right, what do people like about me? People like that I've been consistent. For the last year, I've done a show every day, and then for a little while we had to, get off that. But now Monday through Friday, we produce a show on a regular basis, and the thing I can say the most that people enjoy is consistency. They know every day there's going to be a show, no matter how long, how short. There's going to be a show. You know what I mean? And so we have to expand upon that. And now we are doing more, giving more of our opinions, giving more of our thoughts, sharing more with people. And so this show is going to grow, and the show is going to, get more people. But, I'm not going to say the guy that's been listening from the word go, if he says, hey man, can you talk about what you used to talk about? I'll go, all right, man, I'll bring it back some, a little bit, but, I'm not going to be like, F you guy, thanks for listening, but F you, Nah. It's a fine line that you have to walk sometimes, between trying to get new customers and not just pissing off the old ones all together. Like, hey man, you ain't gonna make everybody happy. Don't get me wrong, but you don't want to just completely piss the people off, and they just be like, never again, F you. I was with you for 2 years, No, you like the people to stick around for longer than that. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're part of the Democratic Party, please tell these Democrats to get it together and come back, man. What happened to the party of Bill Clinton or whatever, Bill Clinton and whoever else used to be a Democrat, you know what I mean? Barack Obama. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Don't alienate the whole fan base, If you have 1,000 people in your fan base, and 700 of them have been with you from the word go, just don't lose the 700 to try to cater to the 300. You know what I mean? Like, that's stupid. Come on now. All right? But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back tomorrow with the all-new episode of Online Marketing Moves. I greatly appreciate you for listening. And as always, everybody, peace.